Hey guys, David here, and welcome to Digital Outlook. Guys, I sure hope you had an absolutely fantastic day. There is always something going on in this XRP ecosystem for sure. And guys, we know a lot of major events are coming up, and one of them, of course, is Ripple Swell, November 4th and 5th, 2025. And right around the corner, and we all know, guess who is invited to the party? BlackRock. Well, guys, Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock, has come out and he did an interview here on CNBC, and you have got to hear what he just had to say. Guys, as far as I'm concerned, he literally laid out the blueprint for the next move in this digital asset space. You got to check this video clip out right here.
What do you mean by digital?
I do believe we're just at the beginning of the tokenization of all assets, from real estate to equities to bonds across the board.
It's very loud here.
It's very loud, but it's good. Capital's at work, right?
You like that?
I love capital at work.
Yeah.
There's $4.1 trillion of money in globally in digital wallets. A lot of that money is outside the United States. If we could tokenize a ETF, digitize that ETF, we could have investors who are just beginning to, invest in markets through, let's say, crypto. They're investing in it, but now we could get them into the more traditional long-term retirement products. So we look at that as the next wave of opportunity for BlackRock over the next tens of years, as we start focusing, moving away from, traditional financial assets by repotting them in a digital manner, and then having people stay in that digital ecosystem. They can have their cash, and we have the largest cash money market fund that's tokenized called BITL. Our Bitcoin IBIT is now over 100 billion.
Now, guys, did you hear that? He is talking about the tokenization of everything, just like we had to say. Now, the thing with BlackRock is, come on, it wasn't that long ago Larry Fink was out there, and he was actually saying, hey, listen, we have no interest. Nobody has anything in this space. Well, now he says, well, I've changed my mind. Really? I just think he was talking his book, because the reality is, guys, these folks in the know have known about what the infrastructure is going to be and the plan for the tokenization, of course, of all the equities markets, but of everything else. Larry Fink himself quoted right there, real estate. Do you know how big the global real estate market is, guys? $360 trillion. Do you know how much the debt market is? Another $300 trillion. All of these various stock markets around the wide world into the multi-deca trillions. And of course, you've got the biggest granddaddy of them all, the derivatives market into the quadrillions. And when we're talking about the tokenization of everything, you just think, how many of these various infrastructure, these platform protocols can handle that kind of volume? Not too many, guys. This boy right here, it can handle that. And you can tokenize everything on the XRP ledger. Now, just let's connect a few dots here. Do you think BlackRock is, on Ripple Swell as a keynote speaker on November 4th and 5th, 2025? Guys, I don't think you can make this kind of stuff up. And another thing to think about is this: Robbie Mishnick, who actually was working over there at Ripple, is who is in charge of BlackRock's digital asset division over there. Is that something to think about? Yeah, I think it is, guys. And another thing about Ripple Swell, this is not an event that just anybody can show up at, You have to be personally invited and, by Ripple to attend this event. And it's no, cheap matter. There are fees to be paid. Guys, this is a big time deal for all these fudsters that are out there telling you XRP is going to do nothing. Nobody's going to be using it. It has no this, no that. It is utter hogwash. And you literally just heard it right there from Larry Fink. We are moving into a brand new digital economy. And guys, as far as I'm concerned, they have literally just lit the engine. And when you take a look at the blueprint of what's coming, it is going to blow the doors off of every other industrial change that we have seen. In fact, these folks themselves call it the Fourth Industrial Revolution. And I believe it's going to represent the greatest wealth transfer in the history of mankind. But the reality is most folks are going to miss it. Most folks are going to miss it because they're getting choked out, they're getting shaken out, they're getting spooked out. You know, we see events like Scammy Wicks, like we see, people get so terrified. They have literally lost the vision of what the future really is. And the reality is that future is coming like a freight train, and there is no stopping it. That is a fact, Jack. And when you watch it happen, probably within the next 12 to 18 months, all the regulatory clarity piece is going to be out there. And right now, who is championing this whole clarity move, in the regulatory environment? Well, it's also BlackRock. They are out there really pushing this envelope, saying, hey, we got to get the regulatory clarity in place. We got to do this. We got to do that. And why do you think that they are using these guys as the mouthpiece to push this forward? Well, because these guys are literally the kingpins of the current economy, aren't they? They got BlackRock has their thumb in every pie. And of course, they're going to be out there, guys. Do you think they're going to miss out of this? No, they're not. They want to be in the driver's seat. They don't want to be just riding in the car. That's a fact, Jack. And they are out there doing everything they possibly can to position themselves to be like the kingpins of this new economy. But you and I, guys, this is one of the instances that you can ever see in any market position where we could front run these institutions. Yep. And I'll tell you, amazing. A lot of people will say, well, they're not going to let that many of us get rich. Do you realize there's really not that many of us in the global economy? The amount of people that are into, this digital asset space globally, maybe 1%. Well, the amount of people in that are holding XRP, is it ever low? In fact, there's really not that many, maybe a couple to 3,000 people in XRP that hold any significant amount that is going to send it into some kind of amazing numbers. Can you imagine that globally? That's right. In fact, do you realize that something like 75% of all XRP wallets hold less than 2,000 XRP? So if you're holding anything of 10,000 or above, guys, I'm going to tell you, you are in a very, very small minority, and they are not going to care to watch a few thousand of us get absolutely stinking rich. They're not, because they realize, because what this means for the global economy, the banking of the unbanked, the tokenization of everything, how they're going to literally move us into these new rails is going to be so astronomical, stupendous, that is going to just create absolute trillionaires. That's a fact. And so for me, guys, I'm not shaken out. I'm not scared. I'm not actually spooked. I've pulled back the curtain. When in doubt, like I say, zoom out. And you are just literally seeing what they are saying is coming. And it is coming a whole lot faster than what most people actually think. Because when they actually start getting out there, they start singing the song, they start dancing the tune, you watch and see the curtain is going to drop and the whole play is going to start to unfold right before your very eyes. Do you want to miss that? Do you want to be the guy who sits back there and has one of those stories? Yeah, I remember when, and I had the opportunity and how many of us have a Bitcoin story? Is that what you want? Or do you want to be the guy who sits your grandchildren down and says, honey, I saw what was coming, and I was thinking of you before you were even born, so that you could actually have a future in this wide world that I could have never had myself. That's the kind of story we want to tell our grandchildren, isn't it, guys? Well, this is our opportunity. This is our chance. And how many folks are going to miss it? Why? Because they succumb to the psychology of this market. They don't actually see what's coming down the road. They are looking at the rinky-dink day-to-day little price movement, and they're missing the big picture. And guys, that's why you got to be out there digging this stuff up, doing your research, peeling back the onion, pulling back the curtain, and absolutely educating yourself. Because I can get out here, like I say all the time, and I can share with you my convictions, but I cannot give you the confidence that goes with it. That's where you actually do it for yourself, and you answer those questions, and the answers we find for ourselves, isn't it true? Those are the ones we trust the most. And guys, we had opened our coaching. I got 2 sessions left for next week, and that's it. I close the week after. That's it. All there is those two. If that interests you, you can reach me at thedigitaloutlook.com. Get yourself on the calendar. Guys, things are changing, and they're changing so fast, and it is going to be a future that you and I are definitely wanting to be a part of. Absolutely for sure, because this is going to just create such an opportunity. It's beyond a lifetime opportunity. In my mind, it is going to be a generational opportunity. And guys, they are going to send this thing right in way past the moon. They are sending it into outer space, guys, to infinity and beyond. And boy, oh boy, do I ever want to see you there. So I'll tell you what, guys, until tomorrow when we have another fantastic video for you, have a fabulous one and take care.